Hey everybody, it's BigMayonnaze back on the sandwich. Hey, thanks for coming back, guys. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Let's keep going on this series here. This was such a sweet, wholesome game, and I really enjoyed playing it last time, so I'm excited to pick it back up here and keep going with it. So yeah, I would...
Is she coming? Can you hear them?
Can you hear the Noki? What is this? Oh, this is just a Russian numbers station. It's just a repeating loop. That's nothing to worry about. Alright. But where were we? Alright. We're back. We're back here with Gregor. Gregor, you up? How'd you sleep? I was so warm last night, I didn't even need a blanket. She looks happy. Oh, what time is it? About an hour till dawn. Will you two pipe down? I'm trying to sleep over here. Gregor, the birds outside aren't making much noise yet. We didn't bring many supplies, remember? Better get a head start on gathering food. I honestly can't see the trees outside right. Gregor, did you see any spiders last night? There was a small one in the bathroom. Actually, I did see a centipede by the sink. Mariah turns a little pale. Kareen's just messing with you, Mariah. Let's find more than wild sorrel today. If you're lucky, little guy, maybe I'll teach you how to catch some wild brown trout. Oh, what's with you and meat, big guy? How do you think I got so big? Anatoly's herbalism book stated that there's many more species of plants to eat out here. Let's leave the fish alone. You know, I'm not, into meat. She's gay. Good for you. And it's good that you're able to share that with your friends, you know? Kareen. That's a shame. I'd wake up early to go fishing. Cheer up, Kareen. We'll get to observe the trout at the very least. Maybe we'll get to see more red deer today. Sounds like a waste of time, Gregor. Maybe we'll find some blackthorn berries. I love blackthorn berries. Well, we'll be back later. Can you watch our stuff today? You nod. Thank you. Thanks. Don't steal anything, okay? You nod. Mariah, Anatoly, Gregor, and Kareen leave the cabin with a hop to their step. Kareen seemed very hoppy. You're alone, but thankfully you have a drawer full of chomp pets to keep you company. Tutorial. Each day you'll be asked to explore a different part of the cabin. You'll only get one choice, then the day will end, so choose wisely. What do you want to check out today? Talk with the Chompets. I'm alright. Let's check out the basement. Oh, that's creepy as all hell. This door goes into the basement. There's no reason to go into the basement right now. You wait for the others to return. Oh, okay. What a day, huh? We're back! Knock it off, Mariah. It's pretty rare to be scared of one. Oh, it's not! Who knew the big guy would be scared of? Shh! Shut up! You don't understand. I don't think anyone understands, Gregor. It was just a marmot, Gregor, not a monster. Mariah laughs so hard that your ears ring. Ha 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 ha! Ho, 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 ho! Tears are rolling down Mariah's cheeks. She's laughing so hard that she's about to hyperventilate. Stop Mariah from hyperventilating? Absolutely not. One less mouth to feed, right? You don't get it. It's pretty personal. Then please explain, big guy. Gregor looks incredibly uncomfortable. Let's just leave him alone. We found some raspberries and elderberries near the cabin. Quite the selection of berries. We also found some more wild sorrel. Is this going to be enough for a good meal? Everyone is looking at you for an answer. You decide to do an inventory of all available ingredients. I'm just remembering the dead mouse I have now. Takes you a while, but you decide on your specialty, cabbage rolls. You first bring a large pot of water to boil. You let the cabbage leaves boil for 2 minutes, draining the pot into the sink. In a medium mixing bowl, you combine some cooked rice, onion, and egg, salt and pepper, along with some tomato sauce. You use your hands to mix thoroughly, and you decide to wash your hands after it won't come off. Dividing the rice mixture evenly between the cabbage leaves, you roll them up and tie a string around them so that they stay in one piece. You place the cabbage rolls in a large skillet over medium heat, pouring the rest of the tomato mixture over the top. Covering it, you bring it to a boil. You reduce the heat to low and the cabbage rolls simmer for about 40 minutes. Be sure to baste it with the liquid. Never forget to baste your cabbage rolls, people. That is such an important step. Or you have to at the very least, put a nice lid over the top. Ah, that actually looks really good. You cooked cabbage rolls. Man, I'm getting all sorts of, I'm gonna make some cabbage rolls here. Me personally, I'm a fan of putting a little lamb meat in. Mix some lamb meat and some ground beef together, and with the rice mixture, and it gives it a beautiful, beautiful overall flavor. Mariah looks optimistic, Karine looks skeptical, Anatoly looks curious, and Gregor looks hungry. You watch intently as everyone takes their first bite. We're all sitting down to eat again. Look, I like how they change the meal every time. That's pretty darn good. Wow, I could eat a whole batch just to myself. I think the vegetable stew tasted better, but I'm loving how tender the cabbage is. The sauce is pretty red. Did you use fresh tomatoes for it? It really adds to it. Spoon some of the liquid on top of it. You'll thank me later. Incredible. It's definitely growing on me. Thanks again for cooking. This really was something special. Everyone leaves the dishes behind for you to do. And I'm really feeling like the backseat friend here, Not happening. You settle in and go to bed. Everyone goes to bed full. Tomorrow will be another great day. Alright, well. Why would it give me the option to go to the basement? Good morning, everyone. I love how Mariah just always looks like she's ready to die every morning. Yeah. Again, Gregor? Can't you let us sleep in? Not today. Why? Storm clouds are gathering outside. We need to find some food before it begins to downpour. Gregor, you're overreacting. We have enough food to last us a while. Enough food? I thought we used most of the supplies for last night's dinner. He's right. The meal you made was delicious, but it used a lot of what we had. Gregor's also correct. Precipitation is unusually high in this area, with many areas being high risk for flooding. It'd be foolish to not go out and look for food today. You really think it'll flood? Thankfully the cabin is in a high ground, but that doesn't mean we're safe from floodwaters. It's always a possibility, so it can't hurt to be prepared. You're losing it, Gregor. Kareen! There's nothing to worry about. I think Gregor's right, Kareen. Huh? It won't hurt to prepare for the worst. I think she's right, Kareen. Fail to prepare, prepare to fail. Anatoly, let's go out and prepare for the storm. Foraging should be a key priority today. There are plenty of edible foods in it, and it has better odds than trying to hunt. Give me a few minutes and I'll plot out some route on paper. Let me help, little guy. Anatoly and Gregor head to the bedroom to consult the map. Mariah and Kareen are still hanging around. Unfortunately, in life, you can't make everybody happy. When given a choice to speak to a character, choose wisely. You can only select one of them. Okay. Try to max out your bond with certain characters for unique dialogue and scenarios. Which one would you like to talk to? I kinda like Kareen. She's snarky, you know? Hey, this paper nailed to the wall looks pretty ancient. What were the old days like? I'm not sure what you mean. Never mind. You must enjoy these antiques, huh? You bore Kareen with some brief yet dull descriptions of items laying around. Cool. I'll tell the others later. Kareen looks disturbed by your comments. You hear a loud laugh from the other room. Huh, okay. Gregor and Anatoly come back from their meeting. Gregor is blushing slightly. Look, I know which options people want to hear, but I'm gonna play this the way I would play it, and we'll see what kind of ending I get. Hey, can you cook something while we're out? You nod. Thank you. All right, everyone, we have our route now. Let's beat those rain clouds. The group leaves, determined as ever. You have the cabin all to yourself. What's that noise? Sounds like it's coming from the kitchen. Radio? What's going on with that radio? You didn't even notice it on the ground when you walked in. Somebody leave this radio here? Looks newer than anything you've seen before. Seems to be broken, though. Better hold on to this. You got the strange radio. Before you cook dinner, what should you check out? Let's go to the bedroom. Let's see what they were up to up there. Loose floorboard there. Poor Anatoly. Kareen's snoring is so loud, she even wakes you up sometimes. Anatoly must be running on fumes. Would he have the courage to wake her up, though? Probably not. He's a real coward, that Anatoly. You wait around for the others to return. Why didn't I? Am I not allowed to, like, explore the areas? Mariah's back early today. Hey. The others are still looking for food outside. Anatoly found some more berries, but nothing that will feed all of us. Please don't tell the others. But I'm a little worried about our supplies. I crunched the numbers and we don't have enough food, even with the rationing, to last us if there's a big storm and we get stuck out here. Mariah seems disappointed in your inventory management. Can you try cooking with a little less this evening? You nod. Thank you. You've done such a great job with meals so far. You're very sweet. Is Mariah blushing a little bit? Mariah will remember that. Remember what? I didn't... Hey! Nice. Finally, some affection. Maybe you could teach me to cook sometime. You nod. Looking forward to it. Hey, you could hold cooking classes here someday. Rudely interrupting a tender moment, the others burst into the cabin. Ah, everybody's back. Good to see you, friends. Ah, don't be so down, everybody. We got tons of good berries. Jam is so bland without any sugar. Do you have any sugar? Shake your head sadly. Yikes. Turn that frown upside down, Kareen. Who knows what tomorrow will bring? I'm not smiling for you, Gregor. Eek. You missed out. The sunset was really tremendous on our way back. Hues of orange, red, even a little purple poking out. Red sky at night, sailor's delight. Red sky in the morning, sailors take warning. So we can expect the sailor's delight tomorrow. That's awesome. You're such an optimist, big guy. I love their dynamic, big guy, little guy. It's nice, you know. And I don't know. It seems like Kareen's kind of the outsider here. She doesn't seem to really get along with anybody. I feel like we kidnap her. We must have walked a few miles today. Gorgeous sights. You could even see snow on the tips of the mountains. Ooh, that rumble sounded like a dying cow. You look from person to person trying to determine who it was. It was definitely Mariah. Mariah! I'd recognize that sound from anywhere. Guilty. Mariah looks embarrassed, but the group laughs at her honesty. Except for you. You search your mind for something to say, but all you can think of is an old riddle. Ahem. Those who have it do not want it. Those who have it least succeed. Those who have it for too long perish. When you feed it, it gets smaller. What am I? Dust? Try again, big guy. Everyone is pondering the answer. Mariah's face lights up. I got it! Is it hunger? Correct! Yeah, I was going to guess that. So, what's on the menu tonight, chef? Bread and jam. You crush the berries into your small mortar and pestle, spreading it on some crusty bread. Ooh. I don't know that I really consider that a bare cupboards. You cooked raspberry jam and bread. The bread's a little tough. Gregor, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. This homemade jam, which I recently learned, it is not, do not lick a gift horse in the mouth. Nor did I ever understand that saying the 95,000 times I used it in the past. But this homemade jam is to die for. Sorry. No, you're right, Gregor. This bread stinks. Mariah! Everybody laughs. You're not sure this could be called a meal. Yeah, I wasn't sure about this one, but it got the job done. Everyone thanks you for dinner and heads off to sleep. Rations are running low, boys and girls. You go to bed wishing you had more. You had a strange dream. Something is riding on your back, and it's becoming a nuisance. You try to see it in the mirror, but you can't get a good look at it. You try almost everything, but it won't get off. The pain between your shoulder blades is getting worse by the minute. You wander away from the cabin, stumbling by a river to soak your pain in cold water. You didn't want things to come to this, but you've exhausted all other options. You swim out to the middle. Rocks on the bottom cut your feet. You slip and fall to your knees. You lean back, trying to submerge the thing under the waters. But it won't drown. It won't drown. It won't drown. You splash frantically, plunging your head beneath the water. The current takes you downstream. You try swimming to the shore, but it's no use. Water fills your mouth and nostrils. After a minute, you stop struggling against the current. As you gaze up at the new sky, you feel it leaving your back, drifting into the sky as you sink to the bottom. It's a lot to read into right here. As you take your last gasp, you see what was on your back staring into your eyes. But you don't even have the air in your lungs to scream. You wake in a cold sweat. I'll go ahead and slow that down for you guys so that you can see that there. Just a dream. Wake up! Sorry, you're making strange noises in your sleep. What's going on, Gregor? Did the lightning wake you up? It woke me up. Tried to fall back asleep, but it's so loud. Let's just get back to sleep and talk about this in the morning. Everyone nods in agreement and goes back to bed. So I'm having a night terror, huh? Yeah, all the lack of supplies, except for me, yep. All the lack of supplies must be really stressing me out. That's what it means to dream about drowning, is that you feel overwhelmed by what's around you. It's usually because you're overstressed. You can't fall back asleep. You still have goose bites from that nightmare. Kareen's snoring is louder than a sawmill. You find it very loud and distracting. You don't sleep a wink. Everyone is now up and awake in the cabin. You hear the front door open and quickly slam shut. Anatoly sounds petrified. I looked out the door and we're completely surrounded by floodwaters. Looks like sailors take warning was more appropriate for today. Maybe it'll clear up tomorrow? You can't steal big guy's optimism, Kareen. Why the hell not? That's all he has going for him. He's also good at chopping wood, though. Knock it off, you two. Mariah, you think it'll clear up tomorrow? I give it a 27% chance of clearing up tomorrow. Based on what? I was bored stiff, so I read a book on local precipitation levels for the last 12 years in the living room. It's kind of a weird increment of time to have, Kareen. Sounds like you're stealing Anatoly's thunder. Anatoly, you're a book nerd, right? Why didn't you read it? I couldn't make it past the cover. Is that right? Yes. That bookshelf has some great books on artisan crafting and natural sciences. Why let them sit there gathering dust? How did you arrive at a 27% chance of it clearing up tomorrow? It's easy. Take the time of the year, multiply by the factor of... Mariah begins to explain meteorology to you. She isn't dumbing any of this down. It's similar to... I don't even know all that. Micron, blah, 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 where... so the first thing you need to understand, minutes of explanation feels like hours. You look over at Anatoly. He's listening intently to Mariah. So intently he hasn't blinked yet. You can see his eyes drying up. A tear rolls down one of his cheeks. This is brutal to watch. Mariah finally wraps up her lecture. She ends it with a bow. Nobody claps. Tough crowd. Mariah, that was awe-inspiring. You lost me a few minutes in, but it's okay. I didn't understand a word of it. Yeah. Anatoly turns to you. Anyway, there's no telling how long this will last. We can't leave the cabin until these floodwaters stop. I know our food situation is a little tight, but I know you'll make the right decisions. I believe in you. I believe in you. Me too. Mariah. Oh, she's freaked out. Now, looks like we have enough leftover berries for more bread and jam. I'll pass on the jam, just give me more crusty bread. Everyone laughs, except for you. With everyone stranded in the cabin, you need to keep everyone fed and happy. You sneak out to the kitchen while everyone's still talking. You get out some crusty bread and get to work making more jam. With the kitchen to yourself, you decide to check in on the Chompettes.
Hello!
Well, hello, Cabbage! Don't worry, as leader of the Chompettes, I'll make sure none of the humans know about us. That big guy would try eating me like an apple, so I definitely don't tell them about us. Are your plans going awry? Got another cornbread classic for you. Did you hear about the bread maker's bakery burning down? No? Her business is now toast. Oh, that one's been done to death. Do you know how raspberry and milk were introduced? You tell her no. Raspberry milk shake! You let out an audible groan. Did cornbread teach you that one? Nope, wasted an entire day thinking about that terrible pun. Ah, well, it was worth the time and effort, Raspberry. Maybe you'll win the annual Chompette comedy competition this year. Yeah, of course. Now while I'm here... Settle down, Bread, okay? I'm not gonna choke on stage this year. Isn't that every year, Bread? We still talk about that closing line, Bread. You're going to do great this year. Anyways, don't even think of eating us if you're hungry. Chompettes stick together through thick and thin. Rain or shine. Feast and famine. Potato, I swear to God, repeat the line and we're locking you up again. Life or death. That's right. Chompettes. Move out. Okay, the Chompettes somehow managed to close the drawer on themselves. You bring the crusty bread and jam into the living room. So, do we just eat like once a day? Is that what we're doing here? Kareen interrupts you. Kareen interrupts as you bring food into the... you get what I'm trying to say. You took long enough. Kareen looks at the 2 slices of bread left in the mason jar of raspberry jam. Oh, there's mold on these last 2 slices of bread. Oh, nobody's happy. Gregor seems to be doing alright. Kareen is right. What the hell's the matter with you? You grip the knife tightly in your hand. You think this is enough for 5 of us? Wait, we can't throw this bread away. It's all we have left. Gregor's right. Anatoly, will mold spores give us food poisoning? I'm, no scientist. Sorry. Let's pick off as much mold as we can. We can't leave with the floodwaters, so this will just have to last us another day. Everyone grimly nods, ripping apart their piece like a pack of wolves. Gregor seems to unhinge his jaw and eat it all in one bite. He looks like a duck eating bread. Thanks again. Bread and jam isn't much of a meal, but it's more than we had when we left Ukraine. Oh. I didn't know you were from Ukraine. Well, that kind of changes things. Plenty of rainwater outside, so at least we won't die of dehydration. Yeah, that's true. You can go almost 2 weeks without food. But until this storm is over, nobody should leave the cabin. Should clear up if we just give it a chance. Anatoly, where are you getting that information from? One of the books on the bookshelf about the climate here. You're illiterate, so that's definitely a lie. Ugh. Why don't we just eat the squirrel? I've seen him reading! Little guy's been studying. I'm serious. He pretends to read those books because he wants us to think that he's smart, but I could tell he's just staring at the page, faking it. What do you think? Oh, Jesus. Anatoly doesn't know his weather conditions from a hole in the ground. Kareen is correct. Anatoly can read. I saw with my own 2 eyes. Yikes, I don't like these options here. Anatoly, we can all read. You must be going blind then. Yeah, let's not be rude to anybody here. Yeah, thanks. I don't know why Kareen would make something up like that about me. You aren't fooling anyone, Anatoly. Kareen has stormed off. Thanks for backing me up. Hey! I don't know who my relationship grew with. I mean, technically, I wasn't really agreeing with Gregor. I was backing up Anatoly. But hey, I'll take it. Good to have someone so positive around. Anatoly looks relieved. You think he'll remember that? I guess let's call it a day. Yeah, sure. Kind of a quick one there. Everyone shuffles off to their sleeping areas. 10 minutes later. Hey, Kareen likes to find somebody's weakness and use it against them when she's frustrated. Just wanted to thank you for backing me up earlier. You're very sweet to do that. Anatoly looks at you with a look of an admiration. Did he say that? Because usually they take away the little name tag when it's your internal monologue or it's the narration. I think Anatoly said that out loud to me. Anatoly. See you tomorrow. Yeah, see? I knew that. Anatoly looks like he's blushing as he walks away. You're definitely sure Anatoly will remember that. Yeah. Okay, so I improved it with Gregor first for some reason, and then Anatoly later. But hey, you know what? Karine just seems to be rude to everybody, and I don't want to... That's her problem, you know? Get ready for bed and put a blanket on. Go to bed very hungry. Day 3. And day 4. You don't dream the entire night, but you sleep through everyone waking up. Oh, is it still raining? And that's how fast the deer could run if startled. Whoa! Incredible. Impressive. Yawn. I wish we had a deer here. With the food getting lower, let's just skip today's meal. No! It's only for one day. Various cultures and religions have practiced fasting throughout history. That doesn't make us feel any better, Anatoly. What options do we have? Our food wasn't rationed properly. Anatoly leaves, mumbling to himself. So passive-aggressive of him. Everyone goes to a separate area. Karine in the bedroom, Gregor in the living room, Mariah in the kitchen, and Anatoly in the bathroom. Who do you want to speak to? I don't think I should go to the bathroom with Anatoly. Mariah doesn't seem to be doing good. I'm gonna go talk to Mariah. She seems to really be freaking. Yep. Didn't hear you coming. I was just double checking this, if there was any food we might have missed. But I couldn't get the drawer open. Could you give it a try? You nod. Great. While you do that, while you go do that, I'm going to get some more reading done. You think Mariah will remember that? You know what, Mariah's a sweetheart, you know? Later. Okay, well I guess we'll go talk to the Chompettes. You give the drawer a yard yank. Gotta give it the old yard hank to open it up.
Hello!
Hello, Cabbage. Is the thunderstorm keeping you up at night? You just need to roll with it. Raspberry whispers so quietly, you lean over to listen to her. We need to talk soon. Please listen to me when the time comes. Anyways, please don't let the others see us. That's right, Raspberry. Part of being a Chompette is secrecy. We don't want those humans to overhear our meetings now, would we? You shake your head. Good. Chompettes, roll out. You shut the drawer. Oh, he didn't slam the drawer this time. I did it for him. Everyone looks pretty down this evening. Wish the rain would just stop. You're all doing great. We must be almost at the end of this nightmare. I'm so hungry. Me too. You are too. You wish everyone you wish everyone a good night and get ready for bed. You know, this game isn't as wholesome as I thought it was. You know, it's getting a little... Oh! You go to bed with a growling stomach. Raspberry, wake up. I said, wake up. Where do I sleep? The rain falls non-stop again. Did you have anything to do with this? You don't answer her question. Always thinking with your stomach, right? You should reconsider. Might save what little humanity you have left. At least I tried. I won't have a guilty conscience by the end of this. Go back to sleep, monster. What are you talking about? What happened? You easily forget about Raspberry's conversation. You have a strange dream. A boy is yelling at you in the kitchen. You kept telling him to lie down on the tray, but he keeps shaking his head, calling you names, so you do it. You lie down on the tray and make your body as flat as a board. You show him how it's done. His anger turns to courage, and he pushes you into the oven. As the stench of burning hair fills your lungs, you see him sneering back at you. You wake up in a cold sweat. I don't know about this one, guys. This is getting a little creepy here. Everyone seems to be sleeping in later than normal. Their stomachs must have kept them awake all night. The rain is still pouring outside. You can barely make out the trees from the windows. You hear a stirring of blankets, arms, and legs. Mariah looks petrified. Yeah, she doesn't look like she's doing so well. I couldn't sleep. Anatoly has bags under his eyes. No, he doesn't. He looks great. This storm is too loud. Kareen looks out of it. Oh. The cabin was creaking so much last night. It sounded alive. Gregor looks a little gaunt. I got a good look out the window. And couldn't see anything due to the rain. Great observation, Gregor. I was so hungry last night. I kept pacing around my bed. Kareen turns to you. When is this going to end? I checked outside the door again. Floodwaters keep rising. Unfortunately, we're going to have to stay put unless one of us wants to drown in rainwater. As soon as the weather lets up, we'll be able to scavenge for supplies. How close is the nearest town? I don't know. Didn't you have a map on you? I think I dropped it while we were running after Gregor. I'm sure it'll show up eventually. Mariah and Anatoly go white as a sheet. How are we gonna find our way back now? We'll have to ride out the storm. Mariah looks at you. We're down to our last slice of bread. I don't know how much longer we can put off eating. The group stares at you. It'll clear up in no time. Maybe you're right. The group looks worried. They all gravitate to an area. You can tell Gregor's putting on a fake optimism and Mariah is having trouble. Which one do you want to speak with today? You know what? Gregor is at least trying to hide it. You know, he's trying to keep the group going strong. But Mariah is not handling this well. So I gotta keep up with Mariah. I gotta make sure that she's... A chain is only as strong as its weakest link. So if Mariah keeps freaking out, we gotta make sure that she's strong here. It's cold as hell over here. I'm surprised Gregor isn't freezing to death at night. How does he do it? You explain to Mariah how the size of a person and fat content determines how warm they naturally are. Yeah. I wish I was as big as Gregor. But, to be honest, I don't need to be that tall to make a difference in the world. Do you know what he wanted to do for a career? Mariah does her best Gregor impression. Split firewood and gaze at the stars. How boring is that? Depends on the person, but pretty boring. You're so funny. Thanks for coming in and chatting with me. Mariah blushes a little. You, make it easier to pass the time. Thank you. You're pretty sure that Mariah will remember that. Yeah, we're a 3-heart kind of relationship now. This is true strength, boys and girls. This is the power of friendship right here. You thank her and leave the bedroom. You call everyone together and they all look grim. Yeah. You could cut the tension in the room with a knife. Everyone is staring at you. They're expecting that last piece of bread for dinner. You bring it out. Everyone cannot take their eyes off of it. You instruct everyone to take a pinch. And slowly, all 5 of you tear it apart like a wishbone. Everyone studies their piece of bread carefully, wondering how long it would last. Kareen is the first to eat hers. She chews each bite a few hundred times before swallowing. Anatoly chews it cautiously, opening his mouth once he finishes each bite. Mariah nibbles on it slightly, eyes wide, moving from person to person. And Gregor just pops it in his mouth like a cherry. It was gone in an instant. The group thanks you awkwardly. It's not much, but you've run out of options. You wish everyone a good night and get ready for bed. You go to bed starving. Eef. This is tough. You know, this started off as a real wholesome adventure here, but it's definitely getting harder and harder to keep going. Good morning. Morning. Let me check if the rain has stopped. It's still flooding. What are we gonna do? Humans can live about 2 or 3 weeks without food. Water isn't a concern. Rainfall should end in a day or two, right? Actually, precipitation can occur for more than 215 days a year here. But do you really think it will rain for that long? Anatoly, it's been days already. What makes you think it'll stop soon? Eck. Relax, everyone. Let's see how long we can ride this out. Fingers crossed it's done by tomorrow. Panic is slowly creeping in. Everyone's looking scared, but you need to survive. Karina and Gregor begin to discuss next options. Do you want to speak with Mariah in the kitchen, or Anatoly in the living room? Think instead about everything you've done wrong and how you've doomed everyone. I mean, I didn't really do it that bad. I mean, sure, the cabbage rolls and the vegetable stew were probably pretty heavily consumptuous dinners, right? But I don't know. I think we turned like 3 days of food into 2 days of food. Mariah seems to be doing pretty good. Let's talk to Anatoly. Let's start working on some of these friendships here. Anatoly's still paging through the book. Hey, you really should have been more careful with our emergency supplies. What were you thinking? Sorry, Anatoly. Apology accepted. Who could have predicted this much rain? You're sweet as pound cake. Thank you. You'll have to teach me that vegetable stew when all this is over. You're sure Anatoly will remember that? Yeah, see, there we go. Just gotta keep working on it. Is he holding that book upside down? Can Anatoly not actually read? This book is a great distraction. Very well written. Oh, you get the hint and leave Anatoly to himself. The squirrel's still ready to go. Gregor. I don't think any of us can take this much longer. Gregor's voice starts to crack. I don't want to ask this, but it's time. One of us needs to go outside and search for food. Oh, Gregor, don't cry. Everyone is silent. I'll go. Mariah! I used to swim all the time near my house, so I probably have the best chance of swimming through all the floodwaters. No! Let me go instead. You won't get very far if anything happens to your glasses, Anatoly. You're blind as a mole rat, remember? It's true, but... Little guy, let me go. Gregor, Sounds good to me. Kareen! His arms are definitely the longest, so he'd probably be the best at climbing trees out of all of us. No, that wouldn't be right. Gregor, let me go instead. I get that none of these options are good ones, but we need to find food or help. Gregor grabs a branch from the wood pile. He cuts it into different measurements. Since we can't come to a consensus, let's draw for it. We'll each pick one from my hand. And the shortest will go outside to search for food. You're not worried about drawing. You saw Gregor cut the branch lengths. You can tell which one is the biggest of the bunch. You pick it. You watch the others intently. Will it be Gregor? Anatoly? Kareen? Will it be Looks like I've got the shortest. Mariah. It's okay. I watched Anatoly forage earlier, so I'll know what to look out for. Just swim until you find higher ground, then scout the area. Maybe you'll find a fish out there. Everyone looks heartbroken. Green, Anatoly, Gregor, I'll keep us alive. I promise. She promised. Everyone watches as Mariah leaves the cabin. The silence is deafening. Goodbye. The door shuts behind her. You can faintly hear her yell about how cold the water is, and then silence. God, I hate that so much. I'm sure we'll see her again. The rest of the group nods. Everyone stays up, waiting and waiting. The sun is completely set. One by one, each person quietly shuffles off to bed. You get ready for bed and easily pass out. You have a strange dream. The two women in front of you could be twins. One of them you recognize, the other is a guest. You ask the guest to sit on a shovel, and then you try pushing it into the oven. Her legs are so strong you can't get her into the oven. You curse at her repeatedly. Like this, you hiss. You stretch out your legs until your toes are almost sticking into the coals. You feel 4 hands on your shoulders, and both of them push you in. The familiar smell of smoke and burning hair cause you to throw up on the embers. You can't let it end like this. You rip the metal door off the oven, tearing through the wood logs of the cabin, screaming as you chase the two through the woods. Your burns chill with the wind. The guest looks behind her, and her eyes widen when she sees you. She's terrified. Your fury rips trees out by the roots, soil from the ground, rocks from their pits. You've never been this angry in your entire life. Their stamina can't last forever, and you're gaining on them. As you trample through a field of wheat, the guest throws a piece of cloth behind her. You catch the glint of it. You catch the glint of it in the sun, golden. As if by magic, the earth splits in front of you, creating a chasm of fire below. You fall into the pit, screaming as your eyes begin to sizzle from the heat. Hellfire fills your lungs. You're unable to scream anymore. You wake in a cold sweat. I can't see these things because they flash so quickly, but I'll bet that was the chasm and the two guests looking over the edge. Day 7. And no Mariah. Good morning. Do you think she made it to higher ground? I believe in Mariah. Me too. She'll be fine. Right, little guy? So, what do we do now? Just wait? Kareen. How long? It's been almost a day since she's left. Anatoly and Gregor look nervous. Someone needs to go and look for her. Anatoly. We need to wait, Kareen. Wait for what? The nearest town is miles and miles away. Waiting is all we can do for now. So it could be days before she gets back? What are we supposed to eat? Mice? Kareen. I'm sure Anatoly will agree, but we'll discuss next options when we get to it. Every waking thought is about food now. I never should have eaten that much. Kareen's hands are involuntarily shaking. Gregor and Anatoly just nod in agreement. They don't even need her to elaborate. You're sure Mariah will make it back? She promised. Everyone retreats to their areas. What do you want to do today? Gregor is my rock. I gotta work on Gregor here. Gregor seems to be coping through knitting. It's kind of a weird thing for him to be into. Thanks for keeping everyone's spirits high. I know it's what Mariah would have wanted. Don't you think? Have you heard the noises? Sometimes I think I hear Mariah outside, saying something I can't make out. It comes out in gasps, like she's trying to clear water from her throat. Other times, I hear her crying, and I never heard Mariah cry. Have you heard Mariah cry at night? No. Oh. I'm starting to lose it then. Please, don't tell the others, okay? Absolutely, Gregor. Your secret's safe. Thank you. It's probably just the sounds of the storm anyway, right? Gregor will remember that. Yeah, say you gotta check on your strong friends every once in a while, too. You gotta make sure that their strength is staying up. You leave Gregor to his delusions. Karina doesn't seem to be doing too well either. Gregor. I can't stop thinking about that vegetable stew. I'd be fine with bread and jam. I'd be fine with just the strawberries. Nobody else laughs. I would kill for some vegetables right about now. You would too. I'm going to try to get some sleep. Good night. Night. So, we'll talk about this sentence in a second here. The Chompets said, don't even think about eating us, right? And we haven't had the option to even try yet. So I'm a little curious why we haven't done that, right? In addition to that, what was Raspberry talking about? Called us a monster. And that was before Mariah even left. So I don't know what Raspberry is talking about. Did something happen to one of the other vegetables? Did something happen to cornbread? Maybe the food that we're eating is like its friends or something like that. I don't know. This game's getting a little weird here. But all I dreamt about was a desiccating corpse. You wake up in a cold sweat. In a completely different room. I'm in the kitchen. Good morning. Kareen's looking worse. Will you cook for the group today? Cook. You take out a cutlet of meat and begin to cook it in the oven. You cooked meat. Where did you get that? You ignore Kareen's question. What's that smell? Gregor finally gets off the couch. Where did you... The three are looking at you, salivating. You take the charred meat out of the oven, cutting into small cutlets. They immediately grab some off the plate, chewing ferociously. You take a piece and immediately devour it. Do you have any more of this? You explain how the meat is stored securely, hidden, so that you can ration better for this time. I understand. Thank you. Anatoly runs to the bathroom, puking in the toilet. You can hear him sobbing for a few minutes. This taste is... Gregor wanders off. Anatoly returns, looking choked up. I was too weak. Left you some of the meat. Don't fight this, Anatoly. Anatoly takes a cutlet from the plate, turning his back to the group as he devours it. You can hear him crying. Finally, my focus is coming back. Going to read some of those books. Keep them occupied, okay? Kareen leaves you with the men. Who do you want to talk to? Is this a dream? right? Like, this is a dream. This is a starvation dream, right? It said we woke up in a different room, you know? So, like, obviously, we're just dreaming, right? Because there's no way... Because it seems like I'm acting like I did all this stuff, right? But the dream sequence said I just woke up. Yes, because this is a dream. This is 100% a dream. Because it said I slept and I dreamt about a desiccating corpse, right? So I'm having some sort of nightmare about what everybody else is talking about. You know, everybody's worried about Mariah having gone missing, and now Gregor was talking about how he can hear Mariah screaming and crying and gurgling, right? So, and the basement was locked, right? We couldn't get into the basement, you know? So there's definitely no way that we're chopping pieces of Mariah off and keeping her alive in the basement so that we can have meat to make it this far, right? There's no way. There's no way. Let's go check on Gregor, though. Because I've got 3 hearts with Anatoly. Gregor, I only have 2. I'd like to check on Kareen. Gregor, hey! Thanks for cooking the meat earlier. I was nearly passing out from the hunger pangs. Even if I'm a meat and potatoes kind of guy, I appreciate the vegetarian dishes you made before. You really respected Mariah's boundaries. Thank you. Gregor is more dense than you give him credit for. If there's extras, slip me some extra meat next time, okay? Gregor will remember that. Alright, so I got 3 hearts with Gregor now. So I got 3 with Gregor, 3 with Anatoly, right? I'm going to see how Anatoly is doing. Later. I'm kind of looking around the rooms here too as I'm going. Like, there's the floorboard that's missing, and we never really talked about that. Like, why Anatoly and Gregor were like laughing and embarrassed when they came out of the bedroom. And there's also this bottle of ink that's just spilled over. And there's mouse holes all over the place here too. I don't know. Where do you want to check first? Oh, I didn't read what that said. So here I am just talking about it. Underneath the floorboard. You notice a bone sticking out. Is it a human bone? Nope, chicken bone. Gross. The floorboard looks a little loose. You could probably try to pull it up to see underneath it. You're far too weak to pull up that floorboard. This floorboard really should be repaired. You wonder if you could repair it yourself. Let's look under the beds. You look under both of the beds. Just some dust and hair. Gross. You decide to inspect one of the hairs under the bed. It's long and red. Has to be Kareen's hair. Inspect another piece of hair. It appears to be black. Anatoly? Ah, you find a small box in the corner. It must have been your imagination. There's nothing but hair and dust down here. Better luck next time. Inside the birdcage. There's nothing in the birdcage. It's completely empty. Inside the birdcage. The bottom of the birdcage is completely spotless. Did a bird ever go in here? No bird droppings or anything. Let's check the nightstand. Oh, Onion! Don't be a crybaby, it's just me, Onion! Was just playing with some of the toys in this drawer. You're far too old to be playing with any of them. You're never too old for toys. Anyways, need to attend a secret chumpette meeting. Smell you later. Onion bounces out of the bedroom. The drawer has various children's toys in it. What's this? June 26th, 1862. Another body of a child has been discovered within the city of Zapopan, with the remains stuffed into a barrel full of potatoes. The cause of death was identical to earlier victims, with a significant blood loss due to multiple stab wounds in the stomach. This marks the 4th victim by the butcher of Zakopane in less than a month. You take the bloody newspaper with you. Hours passed. The meal gave everyone the perseverance to keep going. Eating will just make them hungrier. They're fine now, but soon they'll be begging for more. We've waited long enough. What's for dinner? You calmly explain that you want to ration the meat better this time, and that there will be no dinner. Fine. I understand. I guess I'd rather eat tomorrow than more today. No arguments? Perfect. Everyone decides to call it an early night. You fall asleep instantly tonight. You have a strange dream. You're having dinner with a blacksmith, but he's not touching his food. The only light in the room comes from the oven. He clears his throat, stroking his beard. I can forge anything. Anything, he says. Your eye has been giving you issues lately, so you reply. Forge me a new eye, then. You laugh, but then the rope comes out. He ties you to your chair with a long rope to prevent you from struggling. You rip the rope apart without even trying, so the blacksmith uses a thicker rope. No turning back now. He takes a hot poker out of the coals, holding in front of his face. You can see his beard and eyes watching you. He slowly brings back the poker, aiming carefully for your eye, before plunging it through your skull with a sickening crunch. The force of the blow throws you backwards a few feet. You're unable to break the ropes. You vomit all over your chest. As the smell of your decimated eye floods your nostrils, the blacksmith stands over you, spitting on your body. You wake in a cold sweat. This is, getting a little intense here, guys. You wake up to see Gregor looking out the window. He turns to you, not smiling. Take a look out the window. Do you notice anything? The floodwaters have receded a little bit, but everyone is still bound to the cabin. The trail used to be completely visible. It's gone now. Good morning, big guy. Will Mariah make it back? This might sound a little crazy, but every night around 2 a.m. I can hear her outside. She makes this awfully gurgling noise, like she's trying to get water out of her lungs. Have you heard of her, Gregor? Sometimes when the rain gets faint, I think I can hear her whispering. I wonder if that was her speaking Ukrainian. I haven't heard anything like that. When she's whispering, it's like she's trying to tell you something, right? Yes. I sometimes hear her crying through the radio. But that's just a broadcast, right? I don't like this game anymore. I think we should have another piece of meat for breakfast. One step closer to Mariah. It's what she would have wanted. What's gotten into you, Anatoly? Anatoly's eyes look at you, begging. Bring us another slab, please. He clearly doesn't have the stomach for it. I can't get the taste out of my mouth. Please help me. Anatoly. Gregor looks pained at Anatoly's words. I think he's right. Please bring us more of that meat. You grab some of the meat from your secret hiding place. You cut it into squares, adding it to boiling cauldron water. It will taste bland without any seasoning, but you need to serve it up right away. What's taking so long? Boil it faster! It looks like it's almost done. Patience. It's finally finished. You serve the meat into bowls. I don't feel safe. Gregor drinks the broth first before swallowing the chunks whole, like a duck does when eating bread. Anatoly creates ripples in the broth using the spoon he isn't eating. I'm sorry about earlier, everyone. I don't know what overtook me. Mariah. Anatoly begins to weep. You look over at Karine. You didn't notice her start to eat. There's just an empty bowl now. Karine is staring right at you. How much more meat is left? You explain how most of it has gone bad. This is the last of it. Could you be so careless again? You remember Karine's knife. You need to think fast. What the hell are we supposed to do now? What, wait around again? The storm isn't ending! You clear your throat. Anatoly? Yes? I think tomorrow you should look for Mariah. Or forage for plants outside. I think you should go tomorrow, little guy. Nobody else can identify edible plants like you. Please, Anatoly. You can swim back after a few hours. Gregor is right, Anatoly. Maybe you'll find Mariah out there. I think Mariah's fine by herself. He still hasn't accepted what happened yet. She doesn't need anyone's help. But we need your help, Anatoly. That's right, Anatoly. Please help us. Let me sleep on it, okay? No problem, little guy. Everybody shuffles to their rooms, reading books and knitting to pass the time. You go to bed ravenous. That's Ukrainian. Mariah. Something is approaching. Onion! Hey! Don't be a crybaby, it's just me! Ah! Cheers, everybody, cheers! Onion! Not going to be very sweet today. I'm worried about Anatoly. He's going to cave to peer pressure. Can you stop him from leaving the cabin? You don't answer, Onion. Please? Don't you trust me? Shake your head. Got a fun factoid for you. Did you know that leaving out an unpeeled onion in your room absorbs bacteria? It'll help prevent colds and ward off viruses. Onion. That was a lie! The fun factoid of that myth, people actually believed it in the 1500s. How embarrassing. Who would believe that? There was even a doctor in 1919 who caused the surge of people believing it. Anyways. You know what smells like a raw onion left in a room? You! It's been a while since your last bath, right? You can't remember. Could smell you before I even came into the room. Onion. Yikes. So, can you stop Anatoly from leaving? I know he has cabin fever, but this is ridiculous. It'll be impossible to stop a grown man from leaving. Please. We don't need another one stalking the hallways, tapping on the windows, crying through the radio. You have the sudden urge to scream. Why do you think we've been using the mouse holes to get around? Scared to death that I'll run into her. Don't make me tattle to Cabbage about you. She can be as mean as Potato if you get on her bad side. Just kidding, she's great. Anyways, when the time comes, just tell Anatoly that you care about him and don't want him to leave. Even if it's for me, okay? You can trust me. Now, if you excuse me, I need to work on some new ice skates. They're made of butter slices, so I'll get to skate around the frying pan tomorrow. Later. Your mind finally manages to forget everything that's happened. You fall asleep again, still ravenous. I guess we'll have this dream and then we'll go from there. You have a strange dream. A fox is collecting payment in your living room. You despise him, so you put 2 dogs at the bottom of a sack and then add 6 chickens on top of it. The fox smiles at you and leaves. At some point in his journey, the fox will eventually open the sack and the dogs will tear the fox in half. Filled with such loathing for the fox, you gave him the only things you had for food, all of those chickens. As the snow piles up outside, you begin to eat whatever you can find. Pillowcases, candles, leather. One day you wake up and you have nothing left to eat. Absolutely nothing. Just an insatiable hunger. A few days later, you go mad and leave the cabin, completely ravenous. A nearby tree looks like charred meat. Your iron teeth cut through the tree bark, tearing your gums apart by the splinters. Your mouth fills quickly with blood. Days later, a deer gallops by, the first creature in the woods to see your corpse. You wake in a cold sweat. Okay. We're gonna leave this here for today. I don't like the road that this is going down. Ooh. I thought this was gonna be a cute, wholesome cooking game with friends. And while I was not necessarily wrong in a literary sense, the colloquial understanding of what is going on here is, not what I would prefer to have happen. I have a running theory that, Mariah is the meat that we have been eating. And, that body that we pulled off of the river, we drowned Mariah, right? And that was the stress that we were under, is that we were starving. And by finally getting that thing off of our back, the thing was Mariah, and we drowned her and are now using her body as meat. And now that the meat has gone bad, we are trying to get Anatoly to go outside so that we can drown him and use his body for meat as well. I don't know how much longer is left in this game. And I'm not handling this too terribly well. But I'm gonna keep going on. I'm gonna forge on in the name of content creation. So thank you guys so much for coming by. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.